to Jonathan Taylor. Huge hole. He's at the 30. He's going to go. 10, 5, touchdown. Jonathan Taylor made a man miss the line of scrimmage and then runs it into Pater. A one-handed INT. Are you kidding me? Kenny Moore.
What a play by Nyheim Hines.
Horseshoe is back, baby. The horseshoe is back.
What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another Bring the Juice Colts podcast live stream. Today, we are doing the pregame video for the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How are y'all doing today? Hope you are having a fantastic Sunday, just like I am. This is going to be a fun day. This is going to be a fun day for the Colts. This is another great matchup for them to remind everybody of just how good they can possibly be. And you certainly hope that the Colts can come out of this with a win. Let's go into a couple of the comments here, see who all is in the chat early today. My guy, Matt, obviously big game today. Yeah, that's right, dude. That's right. Colts are going to smash the Bucs. I certainly hope so. Carson, what's up, man? How you doing? James, let's go Colts. Let's get it. Hey, and listen, the reason I have the luck jersey on today, okay, the reason I have the luck jersey on today is because of the fact that the last time I wore this was last week and we won the game very well. I'm going to wear this for quite a while, okay? I'm going to wear this for a little bit, see if maybe it brings us even more good luck today. I'm certainly hoping so. What up, Indiana Sports Talk? What's up? All right, so let's break this down here, guys. First initial thoughts of today. So the Colts are coming into this game as the underdogs. We all know this, even playing at home, even after what we just did to the Buffalo Bills last week. We know that we just aren't able to really enjoy it too much now because we know that, this is going to be something where this team that we're facing has a lot of firepower on both sides of the ball. This is one of the best teams in football, no question about it. And it's a lot more of a complete team than the one that we faced last week. So we will go ahead and take a look at this. And we'll first kind of start with the inactives for today. So the only issue that we have, actually, there's really no issue when it comes to this inactive report. The two people who were reportedly not going to, who were questioned to not play this week, were actually Quentin Nelson and Darius Leonard. And neither one of them are inactive for today, so both of them are active and will be playing. So great news for the Colts. I mean, you can't go in this game without having either one of those guys in there. That would be a recipe for disaster for Indianapolis, not having them in there. And now let's go to Tampa Bay's side. So the big one for them was that Devin White, who was questionable coming into this week, Devin White is also active for today. The two big ones that they're missing for today is Antonio Brown and Ali Marpet, their guard. So that's going to be very interesting. Certainly wonder how much of that is going to impact their ability to throw the football. You hope that it helps with DeForest Buckner's sake. But, yeah, neither obviously the Colts missing a few guys, but oh, wow. Hold on. Holiday Hobby Talk with the $20 super chat with no message, but Holiday Hobby Talk, thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate the $20 super chat. Thank you so very much. Guys, I'm an Eagles fan. Now that Wentz got traded, so I'm a Colts fan, so I'm new around here. Oh, all good, man. All good. So, yeah, that is the injury report. Let me check something real quick, guys. I'm sorry. One sec, guys. You gotta. Yep, there we go. Okay, sweet. All right. Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you, Holiday, for the $20 super chat, man. Greatly appreciated. So, thank you to the 50+ people who are in here right now. Guys, we're trying to get as many likes on these streams as possible. Last week, with the way that the Colts were able to play that game last week, this stream was popping. We had over 700 likes on the stream, all-time record for us. And we also hit 9,000 subscribers during that actual live stream. And ever since then, we've gotten over almost 400 new subscribers into the channel as it is. So thank you again so much, guys, for everyone who tunes into these streams and watches us at any point. Greatly appreciated. Again, make sure, if you haven't already, to be sure to like the stream. Encourage others to like the stream. Be sure to comment in the chat if you want to interact with people. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, I highly encourage that you do so. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. It was a goal of Cody and I's from the beginning of the season to try and make that goal. So we greatly appreciate everybody who did it. And for the people who are in here because of the giveaways, we will be doing more giveaways. That's kind of what we're trying to do here, is become more and more of it. Greatly appreciate everybody. Hold up a second. Holiday Hobby Talk with another $20 super chat. Love the show. Listen every day while at work. Enjoy. Thank you, Holiday Hobby Talk. Thank you so very much, man. That's really nice of you. Super glad that we're able to give you something to listen to on your way to work, man. But thank you so very much, Holiday Hobby Talk. Thank you so very much, man. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Yeah, so let's kind of move on here, guys. We talked about the inactives and the people who are not going to be playing in this game. We obviously know the challenge of what we're facing today, but we're going to kind of go into here more of the understanding of what we need to do. Also, by the way, for anyone that wonders, and anyone who's going to the game, I was originally going to go to the game, but ended up giving them to Cody. Cody's there at the game today, so that's awesome. Robert Mathis is actually getting inducted into the Colts Ring of Honor today. So hopefully Cody enjoys that. I think it's going to be a fun day for Indianapolis, and I certainly hope that we can win and get what needs to be done. All right, so bringing into the question, what does Carson Wentz need to do? This is a good question because, last week a lot of people really tried to take a lot of shots. T-Feld, me and Cody are on our way. Hey, that's dope, man. Carson Wentz last week, didn't put up insanely big numbers, and everyone was kind of using it to take shots at Carson Wentz for not taking the game over and just kind of looking at the stats and being like, oh, well, he only completed 55% of his passes. Yeah, but he had a couple guys drop a couple passes early in the game. And on top of it, that just wasn't the offensive game plan for this. And I think this time around, Carson Wentz is going to need to be more involved in this passing offense in this game, because you're not going to be able to run the football the way that you did against the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not going to happen. It's just one of the Buccaneers defense is way too strong to be going against, to be able to do something like this. I mean, they just are too strong. They're just not one of those teams that gives up a lot of yards rushing. The Buccaneers actually only give up 78 yards per game rushing the football. So Buccaneers are one of the best rushing defenses in the league by far. Passing yards allowed, these two teams are very similar, not very different in that, but ultimately, again, the rushing aspect of this, the Colts are not going to be able to do what they do. Hold on, James Amadi with the $2 super chat. I hope Lucas Oil is loud today. I certainly hope so. Man. They need to be loud for today. Thank you for the 80 of you in here right now. And hold on a second. Holiday Hobby Talk with a $50 super chat. Here's one more. Don't mean to interrupt the show. Get Granson more involved. Bro, Holiday, thank you. Thank you so very much, man. That's very generous of you. Thank you. You're not interrupting the show, man. That's what this is for. Thank you so very much, Holiday Hobby Talk, for that super chat. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And, of course, getting Granson more involved. I would love to see Granson more involved. I was talking about how much I like him, and he's starting to get a few more chances every game now. I hope that they continue to do that. But Holiday Hobby Talk, thank you again for the extra super chat. Thank you so very much. But, Carson Wentz, he really just needs to do the same thing he was doing last week, which is really, it simply just comes down to making the throws that needs to be made to continue drives. That's really it. He's going to have a few more of those in this game, though. He's going to need to have a few more of those because, you're not going to be able to run the ball the same way that you did against the Bills. So you're going to need to figure out what all you're going to need to execute on a few more big plays. And especially against this Tampa Bay secondary, which is not bad, but it's certainly far from great. You can take advantage of some parts of this secondary to make plays. So you certainly hope that he's going to be able to do that, right? And Carson Wentz is taking care of the ball all season for the most part. I don't think that that's going to be a major problem. I think Carson Wentz can do what needs to be done. I just hope, I would love to see him do exactly what he did against the Ravens, when he threw for 400 yards. But I wouldn't see a 400-yard game, but, just being able to make a lot more of those throws, to make those plays to Pittman and to Pascal and to Hilton. Hopefully we're able to make those plays because, this team's definitely going to be bringing the heat. Hopefully you can attack that secondary and what needs to be done. All right, so kind of going into the segue here of what's next. It's one of those things where, like I said before, I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to repeat if for this. But Video Boss saying, Taylor has 100 yards and 1 touchdown this game. He's going to break the record of most 100-yard, 1 touchdown games in a row. Yeah, he will if he does it today. But ultimately, again, just because the Colts may not be able to run the football the way they want to, I hope they don't abandon it, right? I don't want them to abandon the run game because they think that they can't run the same way that they want to. You have to continue to get Jonathan Taylor involved. I don't care how you do it, but you need to do it in some way, and you do need to keep this team honest about what it is that you do. Hi, Derek. Cheers from Israel. Long time. Hey, thanks, man. Thank you for being here. From Israel? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Thank you, Edon. I'm glad to see you, man. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor needs to be more involved in this system when the Colts don't think that they can take advantage of that. That's the difference here. I'm going to try to fix something here real quick, guys. Hold on. Add him as a mod. There we go. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor repeating. He's not going to get the same stats that he had from before. But one thing that we can do is not abandon him when times get tough. We've had times where Jonathan Taylor just doesn't get used. And something needs to change about that in order to make it work. All right, let's see here. So since everybody's been asking this question recently, and everybody's kind of been talking about it based off of what we've seen, I'll just go ahead and answer. I'll throw a little twist in on it as well. Can JT be the MVP? Well, and Mark, yes, Nelson is playing today, so no problems there. I think ultimately, if there was ever a year that there was not going to be a quarterback who did it, this feels like one of those. It's something where, I mean, you look at his stats. 193 carries for 1,122 yards, 13 touchdowns, has the most rushing yards, the most rushing touchdowns, and is third in yards per carry. And then on top of that, you look at the receiving stats. He has 38 catches for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he gets involved in the passing game as well. Has 15 total touchdowns on the year. So, this guy, by the end of it all, could realistically be close to 25 touchdowns by the end of the year if he keeps on the current trend he's at, right? But the ultimate question is what's the record of the Colts going to be, right? Does he take them to the playoffs? Does he help them get further into the playoffs? Doesn't have to get them to the Super Bowl, but getting them to the playoffs, getting them to take advantage of what they want to do. That is what you need to do, right? And you need to be able to have Jonathan Taylor keep this trend up. And if he does keep this trend up and puts this Colts team in a position where they can win, there's no question he definitely could. I mean, he's going to have statistically one of the best seasons we've seen from a running back in quite a while if he keeps up the trend that he's at. He's got a chance to get near, I would say he's definitely going to hit 1,500 yards before the end of the year. That's for sure. Sorry, guys. Just a few more things. There we go. Awesome. Got to always keep up with the messages, right? 1 second. Get a few people that always message me trying to make sure things are done. Okay, there we go. All right, so we talked a little bit about JT. All right, sweet. All right, so I got a question for all of you. This has been brought up, I'm sure, a couple times now by all of the news outlets and anyone else that follows the Colts. So here's the question. I want you guys to answer it if you guys know the answer. So, Peyton Manning led the Colts in one of the greatest comeback victories in NFL history against the Buccaneers. So there's some history between these two teams. What year did they do that comeback, and how many points did they come back from being down? I kind of want to know if you guys remember this or not. Want to see some answers here. See if anyone knows it. They need to get Hines involved. Yeah, we definitely do need to get Hines involved. See in a couple years. I'll give you guys a hint. It is early 2000s. So give a few more people a couple more chances here. Spook Shill Joe answering the question, and that one is officially right. It was in 2003, and it was a 21-point comeback. The Colts were down by 21 points against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2003, down 35-14. The Colts were able to come back and tie the game in regulation, send it into overtime, and the Colts were able to win the game. Yeah, that was one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. So like I said, there's a lot of great history between these two teams. So, and that was also the last 4 minutes. Yeah, that was the last 4 minutes. All right, so let's kind of talk here for a few about what the Colts defense is going to be able to do. So what can the Colts do to slow down Brady? Well, right now, I mean, Tom Brady's having one of the best years, one of the best seasons of any quarterback right now. Is currently throwing 60% completion percentage for almost 3,200 yards and 29 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions. So Tom Brady has been having a very solid year, no doubt about it. The good thing is that they are missing one of their guards, so you never know if you're going to be able to take advantage of that. You would hope that DeForest Buckner might be able to use that to his advantage. Hopefully that the Colts are able to get some pressure on the inside. Why are we still getting hate from these commentators? Bro, we always do. We always do. It's just how it is. Colts are always like that. But, yeah, so you really do need to get consistent pressure on Tom Brady. This has to be a situation where the Colts do improve even more based on what they did to Josh Allen last week. They have to start getting more pressure on Tom Brady. If you let him sit back there and pick you apart, believe me, he will. And we're going to talk about the secondary here in a little bit because they got a tough order in place for them. And that's pretty much what it is here. Can the Colts hold up in the secondary against this wide receiver corps? Well, you got guys like Chris Godwin, who's one of the best wide receivers in the game right now. Can play in the slot, can play in the outside. Godwin is just a matchup nightmare for everyone. 63 receptions for 782 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's pretty much same stats as what Pittman's doing right now. And then you got guys like Mike Evans, who obviously has not quite been the same Mike Evans that we know. But we know that any moment in time, Mike Evans can change the aspect of a game just like that. He's good like that. Oh, Hunter Peterson with the $2 super chat. Let's go Colts. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you, Hunter Peterson, so much for the $2 super chat. Thank you. How we feeling about a tough matchup today? Bro, you already know. But the Colts surprised us all last week with the scheming in which the Colts played, and George Odom, let alone George Odom, played a fantastic game in coverage last week. Isaiah Rodgers and Rock Yassin both played fantastic defense on their receivers, holding Stephon Diggs to only 2 catches. Only 2 catches, and those were, actually there were 4 catches, but 2 of them were the touchdowns, but only 4 catches for like 30 yards, I think. So it's not like we let Stephon Diggs change the aspect of the game, right? So that's exactly what you want to try to do again against guys that like this. But then again, we know it. The Buccaneers have a lot better offensive weapons. They may not have the best wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, but they have a plethora of better weapons to utilize in this kind of game. Rob Gronkowski is another one of them. Rob Gronkowski getting up there in age, but still just continues to keep doing what he does. So, you got to be careful, especially in the middle of the field. The Darius Leonard's not out there at 100%, and he's going to have to try to play against these guys with a bad ankle. I mean, it's just going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough. But again, if we can get consistent pressure on Tom and we don't allow this offensive line to push us back in the run game, and because that's the one thing too, Leonard Fournette only averages about 4.5 yards carry and only has 4 touchdowns. It's only ran the ball 122 times this year, has 521 yards. He doesn't – the rushing attack from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is not very powerful, okay? They don't look to run the football to gain big yards. They use the run to try and advance the football, and they try to put them in short yardage situations. That's all they do with their run game. They're not looking for explosive plays in the run game. They're simply asking for 3-4 yards on first and second down, put Tom Brady in a position where he can make easy throws and make them work so easily. So if you can keep Leonard Fournette and you can keep, obviously you can keep these guys from doing what they want to do and keeping it going, then you can put the Buccaneers in long yardage situations, and it helps put you in better positions to win and get off the field. Because everyone knows, I mean, when you stay on the field too long with Tom Brady, it just never ends well for you. So hopefully that's what needs to be done here today. Who steps up on the defense? Well, I mean, Isaiah Rodgers has to step up today. I mean, what they're going to have to do. And I would say the biggest one, though, is Kenny Moore. Chris Godwin going to be in that slot a lot of times. Kenny Moore has to step the heck up. He did really well last week. Did a really great job of playing good coverage. They really, really need to get Kenny Moore involved in this, and he needs to be locked down today. Because if they don't and that slot's open, man, it's going to be a long, long day. Okay, so let's go fantasy options for today. Well, I'll start with the Colts. There's really not a whole lot of guys I would be too confident in. Michael Pittman, I think, is going to have a more solid game than he has the last few weeks. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have Jonathan Taylor either way, Taylor will definitely get his. It's not like he's going to get shut down today, but he is going to, be tampered off a lot based off of what it is that he did. And for Michael Pittman as well, I think Michael Pittman can take advantage of this secondary. I don't think that we have an issue with that. But either way, I think that's what's going to happen. And when we're talking about the Tampa Bay side of things, I think that, if you're going to be smart with somebody, either choose Gronk or Godwin. Gronk or Godwin might have a very big day today. All right. Games around the league. Let's go into some of those. So, Steelers and the Bengals today. I'm probably going to choose the Steelers. I think the Bengals are going to lose it somehow, some way. Panthers versus Dolphins. I'll choose the Panthers in this one. Eagles versus the Giants. After seeing what the Eagles have been doing recently, it doesn't it makes me think that they can easily outwit the Giants. Titans versus Patriots. Titans and Patriots, a great game. Just really a great matchup here, but I think the Patriots can pull this one off being at home and what they've been able to do recently. I think they're going to handle business. Falcons versus the Jaguars. I think that the Jaguars can actually win that game. I think with their defense, I think they're going to figure that out. All right, next one. Jets versus the Texans. I think the Texans get the win there. I think that they're actually not as bad of a team as we all think. Chargers versus the Broncos. Oh, man. Broncos seem to always pull it out when they're at home against the Chargers. So I'm going to pick the Broncos in that game. Vikings versus the 49ers. I like what the 49ers have been doing. I like the 49ers' chances in that. I think the Vikings are too inefficient. The Rams versus the Packers. I don't know, man. That's a good one. I think that the Packers, I think the Rams are going to try to get redemption for what's been going on with them recently. I think the Rams can pull that one out. Well, actually, no, because I just read about Matt Stafford being banged up quite a bit. I'm going to go with the Packers because Matt Stafford's not 100%. Sunday Night Football, Browns versus the Ravens. I'll have the Ravens in that one. The Browns just haven't been too efficient lately with their quarterback situation. And Monday Night Football, Seattle Seahawks versus the Washington Football Team. Oh, man. I'll choose Washington at home. I mean, Seattle's not been great. So, all right. Last one, final score predictions for this game. I'm going to go 30-27 Indianapolis. I think both teams are going to score quite a bit. I think the Colts can try to get time of possession on their side. I think that they might make a few big plays, and I think the Colts will win it out for this one. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this pregame show. Again, guys, I'm going to be doing the live play-by-play for you guys here at 12:40, 12:45. So make sure you all check in on that. Make sure you all are coming in and interacting with us in there. Let me check the likes on this. We already got 50+ likes on the stream. Thank you guys again so much for the continued support. We're at the push to try and we're trying to push for 10,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Colin Wood, like the setup, Derek. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it, man. So again, thank you guys again so much for the continued support. Thank you for everybody tuning in today. Let us know what your thoughts are about the game. Be sure to join the play-by-play coming up in about half an hour. Thank you guys again so much. And as always, go Colts.